Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesdays. How my girls doing?
My
We're
W.
doing good. We're doing good.
Yeah. You doing
Yeah.
good? Everybody
That's
doing
you
good?
know
We have
what?
to
You
find
just
our
made us up.
signs for
This is
it.
our sign. Yeah, this is our sign.
Oh, yeah. What's our sign? What is our sign?
I don't
Oh.
know. I just know.
I mean,
West
women,
Coast.
women crushing it. Can we like that?
Okay, women crushing it.
It has to be
Uh,
something that
uh,
we'll figure it out.
women crushing it. Yeah, something like that. We'll do something like that. No, but I'm so glad to see y'all. I just missed y'all, even though I saw y'all last week. I missed y'all, and y'all know I'm in Colorado, and that's why my backdrop is a little strange. It looks like a jail cell, but we'll just go with it. We'll definitely go with it. Nika, how are you doing? What's going on in your world?
I'm doing good. Renovating the house.
I see that.
People think I'm homeless and I'm a bum, but I'm still doing great work on this homeless shelter that I'm living in.
Yes, it
Yes.
looks so
Wait,
good.
that your parents own.
They're my parents. Oh, so,
Yeah.
God, it's
Lee,
like.
hi Lee.
Oh, I've missed
Thank you
Yes,
for
Lee.
Lee,
joining us.
yes.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Lee. Esme, what about you? What you got going? Are you building a house too?
I'm building a food house.
Right. I hear you.
My only goal this year is I'm not trying to lose weight. I just want to maintain it. So I got to work out enough to maintain it, eat whatever the hell I want.
Girl, join the club. Join the club. I'm the same way.
Here. Yeah, because my birthday's in April, so this is usually when I try to lock down and.
Yeah, lockdown, because then you got to go on this trip.
Yeah.
You gotta
To
go
wear
on a
that
big
birthday
trip.
suit.
Yeah.
So first, before we start talking about our boxing stuff, I just want to give a shout out to Arte de Tere for doing our video and our flyer.
Yes.
There's
Oh my
her
God.
email down there if anybody wants to hire her for
She
anything.
hasn't even been working on this on the program. I'm not even gonna tell y'all
Yeah.
what program we're using. But
Right.
she's been
Don't tell our
working on this
secrets.
program for a very short time, and she is a beast at it. Oh, she needs to have like her own professional business to just like.
I'm
She can outdo a whole bunch of other people that I know already have businesses like that.
Right.
Like,
And she's fast.
Yes.
She's so fast.
She's like getting it done.
It's literally like
Yeah.
a day or a few hours or whatever, and I'm just like, so I'm super excited. I'm super excited. So hello, Elda. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Hey.
In the chat, we're gonna have a great guest. I think she's awesome, and thanks to Nika, she showed us who she was because she's badass.
Yes.
But we'll talk about her later. But first, I want to know what everybody thinks about Errol Spence moving to junior middleweight. Who wants to go first? Well, what are your thoughts on that? To fight Keith Thurman.
But you see, I can't even be mad at it because these guys are gonna commit to fight each other when they're ready and the business is right. So, but like now I'm just seeing a lot of people swallow their words because they're upset that Bud took the fight that he did, and it's like, oh, he shouldn't have took that fight, but that was his first fight of the whole year, and he told them that he wanted to get a fight in, so he should not have missed out on the paycheck because things didn't, the fight didn't come to fruition yet.
Right.
So.
Right.
I'm not mad at it, to be honest, because I didn't think that we were going to get it in the first couple of months anyway. So, I just, they're not fighting at 147 from my knowledge.
54, 154.
So, I mean, so the belts are still there for Bud to take if he wants to take them. So,
well, the thing is this, I'll ask you real quick. So what do you think about the people that were saying that, Bud was taking a tune-up? So is this a tune-up? Is this a tune-up for Errol Spence?
Yeah, see, those people are the ones that need to be on the forefront talking. We need to be drilling them because, because he already had fought last year. So, to me, he didn't need a tune-up. And I felt like Crawford, it was warranted because he hadn't fought in I don't know how long, and that was his first fight of the whole entire year, which was the end of the year. So, it's kind of funny how I see a lot of people backtracking and making excuses on why this is not a tune-up and like they're okay with it and stuff like that.
And in a different way, and nothing's on the line.
So
like Lee said, Thurman is the WBC number 1 at 147, but the fight is going to be at 154. Yes, it is. Will that count as fulfilling a mandatory? No, it's not. They're going to hold the belts. They're going to hold his belts for 60 days. Errol Spence's, until he'll be ordered to fight the winner of Ortiz and Stanonis, and supposedly get a fight together with Bud. But we'll see what happens with that. We'll see how that plays out. Esme, what did you think when you saw the news?
I mean, it got me excited because, I mean, he's taking a jump, and I think that says a lot about him. I feel like it's going to make it a little bit more exciting. I want to see him fight Thurman, but it's boxing. Like, I can't get happy until it's the day before weigh-ins.
Right.
It's gonna happen, yeah.
I don't believe shit people say now. So,
I mean, we've been shocked. We're like shell shocked of things. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen until it happens. But the interesting thing is, Jermell, his stablemate, Jermell Charlo, is 154. They're both trained by Derek James. They've stated they're not going to fight each other. And as a boxer, once you move up and you stay there and you fight there, it's really hard to go back to 147, and I'm just really curious to whether or not he will go back to 47, because that's not going to be easy. I mean, even at 47, in my opinion, it seemed like he was struggling.
I mean, isn't Errol Spence, he's the one that was in the bad car accident, right?
Yes, yeah. And then the second one recently.
But why are you risking your life? It's heavier punches, heavier dudes. Like, you don't know how the inside of your body's functioning to risk more.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's easier for him to make that way, because not for nothing, he was always walking around.
Yeah.
Way heavier than he should have. But as of recently, after the car crash, he, I think he just decided to change things up in his camp, and he's been walking around very lean. So I think it's easier for him to make that weight. He might be really comfortable. I don't know.
Yeah, and it is easier for him to make the heavier weight. But I guess my thing is like, okay, whenever after the 60 days, so immediately is he going to start losing weight? He's going to have 60 days
to do something,
to make a move. Lee says, are we going to see step ladder scenario? Spence vacates belt and moves up to 154. Jermell vacates belt to move to 160. That was going to be my next comment.
But my question
Jermell
is,
vacates belts and moves up to 168. That was going to be my next question.
My question is, why at 154? Why not at 147? Like, Thurman is,
right.
The WEC number 1 at 147. So why not at 147?
Right.
Make them come to you. Yeah. Like, you want to fight me? Make this happen.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know what was going on. Who it is, who can't make the weight. Maybe they both can't make the weight. Maybe they just, hey, let's just do this. But don't you remember, I think it was just maybe 2 months ago when Errol Spence was on Twitter, and he was like, absolutely not. Nope, not fighting Thurman. Mm-hmm. What do y'all think changed?
Paycheck. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But okay, so you said he won't fight Charlo because they're stablemates?
No, he won't fight. He won't. Like Lisa, I think that everybody's going to move up. And then his brother is 160.
Everyone says in boxing, some of the guys are like, oh, boxing's a business. Like when what's his name fought Herring,
Shakur.
Yeah, Shakur. Yeah, Shakur. Like, oh, it's a business. It's a business. If it's a business, then you know how to fight your friend in the ring, because that stays in the ring. Right. You're outside and you're friends again. Like, why make the excuses?
Well, I'm just curious, and Lee made a good point. So I'm curious. I wonder if there's something going on. Is everybody having some troubles making these weights? And so if they all just shifted up, Jermell, went to 160, and then his brother gets out of 160, goes to 68, vacates belts. It's still making room for his brother. and then Spence moves up to 54 and starts getting those. But I mean, because Jamel's undisputed, so he could just fight whoever, whatever. They could make arrangements. I don't know. I don't know how it would work, but I'm curious to see if that's what's going to happen. Steven said, I don't think that we will ever see Crawford Spence. PBC has never wanted it. Yeah, I know.
Well, I hope that's not the case because this is the fight that we want this year. So we need to make it happen. Okay.
Well, he's going to be. They said that he will have to negotiate a deal with Bud because he's a WBO champ, and he will have to negotiate something with him. But that's if he stays. I mean, is this some ploy? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It just really makes me question. Why not at 147? Exactly, Lee. Cynical me. Spence probably will have trouble making that weight. Exactly. That's what we were saying. The long layoff. And there's pressure for him to fight after Bud just fought. So to make it happen now, it's 154. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. There is pressure for him. You know,
when was that fight
back.
with Ugas? It was in April, right?
April? Yeah, I think it was April. Yeah. Yeah, I don't but yeah, the pressure is on. I mean, you could go back and forth with memes, and you can be on Twitter, and you can be on YouTube and this and that, and talking about so-and-so can beat so-and-so, but until we see it, and I didn't see, and I love Errol Spence, but I didn't see him trying to make any kind of moves to do anything. And he absolutely said he wasn't going to fight Thurman. Now he's fighting Thurman. He's fighting him at a heavier weight. And I'm just like, what's going on? What is going on? There's something going on.
WC IW on the case. We're going to find out what's going on.
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah. What is going on? But you know what? We'll just see. So I think that so Ortiz and Stenonis, he fights they fight in April. And so we'll just see. We'll see what happens.
Who's this guy right here? Because
Nika, stop talking about.
I'm
okay,
not talking about the,
Thor. First of all,
no, I'm not. I think that's him himself.
Thor.
He's all right. Nika, oh my God.
First of all, it's okay. It's okay. First of all, Thor, you got blocked. Anyway,
go suck a dick while you're at it, bitch.
Yeah, he just got blocked.
Wait,
we're talking about boxing. We're not talking about some petty stuff.
Christine, okay, remember I kept saying there was something important I want to talk about, and I totally forgot. So the WBC announced that they're gonna have that transgendered class.
Yes.
We never talked about that. Yes.
We talked about that. We talked about them having their own. No, like in the past, we said, you know what, they make their own league. So I'm happy about that. Well, what are you thinking about that?
So I talked to one of them. It was something we were chatting about, and I said, how's it going to work? Like, what's going to happen? I had a shit ton of questions. And he just kept telling me that what they're working on is there's obviously not going to be a lot of fighters.
Right. Probably less than women, than the women's league. Yeah.
So those are the technical things they're trying to figure out, because it is a whole different situation. But
sure.
The
medicals, physicals, everything.
And what's her name? That girl that fought La Tigresa?
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
La Tigresa is also going to be, she just won't be able to fight boxing. Women again, ever again.
I was going to say, I wonder if she was going to answer that, because I heard that she was transitioning. So,
yeah.
So she's allowed
I think
to
it's only fair. I think it's only fair, I think it's fair that they get their own league. I think that it's good. And it's going to bring new fans. It's going to bring new eyes, new fans. It's going to bring more attention, to boxing. And I think it's a good thing. And I think it's only fair. 26 sports.
You think there's more transgendered or people on the way to transgender in boxing that we don't know of?
Sure.
Yeah, there might be. Yeah. So this is a good, way to segue them into boxing.
Absolutely.
Because I really do think it should be their own league. They shouldn't women transitioning to being a man should not be fighting a female.
I
Sorry.
believe that it. I
I
believe
will
it's going
stand
to
on
be.
that. I will die on that.
Or a
hill.
man transitioning to be a
Transition
woman should not be
women
fighting a female.
Fighting female. Exactly.
I think
genetics.
I read it, and I think that is what's going to be. Jacob, we'll get back to your question, but to your comment. But yes, would trans men fight trans men only,
Yes.
and vice versa? Yes, that is what he specified.
Mhm.
That if you were a man transitioning to a woman, you're going to fight the same, and if you're a woman transitioning to a man, you'll fight the same. So. You know, I think that's only fair. And I did not see Gary Russell going back to acting a fool at the tank fight. I didn't. I missed that.
I saw Meek Mill acting a fool.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Try to get into boxing business, like mind your business, because from what I saw, it was Gary Russell talking shit about Tank possibly going 12 rounds. But he's a boxer who will probably fight him, so that was just him shit talking. So
Right.
why Meek Mill is jumping in trying to be like heavyweight, champion.
Yeah.
And if y'all seen a video of him sparring, you guys would fall out laughing. Like, he don't have no business talking to Gary Russell.
Oh, I've seen
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
Oh my
You
god.
need
has
to
no
find it
business
and post it on Twitter.
trying to get into it with Gary Russell at all.
Ronnie Bravo says, unpopular opinion, but I think there's always loophole which will be exploited. You know what? You're probably right.
Always.
And 26 Sports, you ain't lying.
Yeah.
You ain't lying, but I don't know what they can do in that case. He said, what about the dudes that act like some bitches?
I know a couple of them, and I would submit their names.
They have their own league.
A couple.
There was just one.
They have their own
one
league
in
too.
the chat. There was one in the chat just now.
They have their nothing else to do.
There
Go.
was one in
Nothing else to
I
do.
want to throw Thor's name in there. He's definitely guy acting like a fucking bitch. You need to be in that league.
Spence versus Thurman at 154 is like when I was a kid and wanted a Game Boy for Christmas and got right. Yes, exactly.
The Tiger Brand.
I agree. I'm sorry. I'm not excited about it. I'm not. Like, I don't care to see it. Even if they were fighting at 47, I would not be excited about it. I don't want to see that fight. Like, I don't care about that fight at all.
I'm not mad at it, because if it's just funny to see the people who were mad with Bud, like,
right.
Okay
It's now it's a different story.
Yeah. So you got to keep the same energy.
You're right, absolutely. And then belts don't matter now. Oh, well, they're not fighting for a title or a belt. Oh, it's okay. Okay, but he's a world champion. Like, what? So this is a tune-up fight. Like, and Bud fought for he had his titles on the line, his title on the line. Like, it's funny.
Yeah,
it's very funny.
They pick and choose what they.
Oh, absolutely pick and choose. And I just want to touch real quick. So I know that we had talked about Tank Davis fight, and we had all agreed that we weren't going to buy it, But so I come home, from a party, my nephew's birthday party, and my son is like, "Are we going to get the fight?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So we get it, right?
You're a boxing family, yeah.
I know. So, did y'all see it? Did y'all see it?
I saw because I went out to eat with my sisters. But I did come back and catch a little bit of it. So
okay, so
just the highlights.
My opinion. So Garcia, Olympian, he was doing so good. He was boxing his Davis's socks off, and then all of a sudden, and I can't remember which round because I was so hot. It was towards the end. He just stops. I mean, he can't hear, or no, he can't see or something, and then it's just like a little bit. It's over. A little bit after, and I'm like, what happened?
He got hit with those dynamite punches.
Girl, you got to watch the whole fight, though. He really didn't. Like, they weren't, like, I'm like, I mean, what, did he take a dive? Like, what was going on? Yes.
I don't think
Maestro, salute.
I don't think
Thank you.
He got hit with a couple of things that shook his head that would definitely.
But he was also throwing some bombs. Like, seriously, if you watch the fight, girl.
He took some his and threw some his, but took a lot more and harder. I mean, Tank has a punch like a tank.
It's like he does.
Yeah,
he does. Rock. So, it's like a boulder hitting you in the face. Even if you're blocking, that punch that's gonna come through your defense is so strong. But you know what? I read on Twitter, people are talking saying if he said in the interview afterwards that his vision was coming back, why couldn't he have just waited a little while and kept fighting?
And people are so
No,
stupid.
a
People are so
fighter knows
stupid.
when the hell to quit, and it's
Yeah.
scary. Why risk it?
And if you
Everything
can't
for
see,
sure.
that's a
For
really
sure.
good reason not to fight. If you can't see, because last time I
sure.
checked, you have to see what you're punching to be able to fight. Like,
And
why would
Tank
you?
is
Tank
is
is
a
not a person you want to
killer.
be in the ring
you want to
blind
have
with.
both eyes.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
true. No, I get it. I see what y'all saying. He does hit hard. He does. But Garcia was so long. He was laying. I was just like,
It could have been a delayed reaction.
It looked off. It would just looked off. I was just like, please tell me this is like real. And yeah, if he knew he could see, hear, whatever it was, yeah, he needs to stop, because a lot of our boxers are getting hurt and they're not coming out of it. So I agree with that for sure.
And did you see the tweet that Edward Berlanga tweeted?
Oh yeah.
And it's like he's like, oh, I fought with like a broken like a torn shoulder or something like that, and you pull out a fight because you can't see. Yeah, motherfucker, if you can't see,
that's pretty important.
Like, are you dumb?
That's life-threatening.
That's pretty
Are
important.
you dumb or are you dumb? Like, come on.
Lee, you got a good point. Yeah. Lee got a good point. Tank outlanded Garcia 33 overall and 29.3 power. He does. Tank doesn't throw much when he lands. He lands with impact. He does. So
with a lot of impact.
Maybe I was just emotional.
Also, did he really spar with guys that hit just as strong as Tank? Did he you don't know until you're in that ring feeling that punch from that fighter that you're like, fuck. And he felt something, and I give him props for actually speaking out and saying like no more, because that's worth more than your pride.
Oh, for sure.
That's your health. Like your health comes first.
Yeah, because some of these guys, they're just going to go through it all. And yeah, you go through with can't see, no show, can't hear, can't.
And boxing does not give a shit.
But then you don't come out the same.
No.
After the sport is done, they do not give a shit about you. So you need to take care of yourself and put yourself first before the sport. So if you can't see,
look at Abner Mares. What, he went 5 years without fighting.
Yeah.
Had one fight, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man! I hope you don't get hit in that eye because it's a target.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. I agree, Jacob. Yeah, he gave him a good fight. He definitely did. Carson says Garcia also still has his belt at 130, so no need to put your life and career on the line. No, absolutely not. I would never think that. Never tell anybody that. Never advise anybody of that. It just looked really weird. Like, watch the whole fight. I don't know. I was trying to see what happened, how it happened, and I still want to go back and look at it because it was weird.
When they were asking him questions in the corner, like he was explaining, I think it was just a punch that he had a delay reaction, and his vision just started getting blurry. And if I can't see, I'm not fighting.
No,
especially not in the ring with Tank. Like
no.
Even if it was temporary for that moment with Tank, you don't want to take that risk.
Yeah, I need to see what Tank is doing.
Sees weakness.
A wounded bird.
He's gonna take it. He's gonna take it.
And then he's gonna flip on you afterwards.
No,
he's gonna jump off the ropes after.
Right.
I popped his eye socket out.
Yeah.
That's true.
Jump off the ropes. Oh my God.
I wanted to change gears a little bit before our guest came on. And so we have a fight coming up. We have Erica Cruz and Amanda Serrano. Mexico versus Puerto Rico.
Oh, you know where I stand.
Okay. Well, then we're going to start with you. So, Erica Cruz and Amanda Serrano, who's winning and how?
I feel like Amanda Serrano, I don't know, I think her confidence is maybe just a little bit lower in the last couple fights. I think she's definitely going to want to come back, and I think she might underestimate Cruz. But I do think if it doesn't go to decision and they give it to Serrano, I think Cruz will take it. Okay. I really do think Cruz. I'm cheering for her, but I really do think Cruz will take it.
By the way, I am cheering for her, just to make it clear.
But I'm not biased, just to make it clear, because Kim Clavel is also fighting a Mexican fighter, and I'm rooting for Kim. So.
Oh, we know you're not biased, girl. We know.
Because they will put that on.
We're not biased here.
You have to put a disclaimer because they will.
I know they will turn your words. So, Nika, what do you think about that fight? Is that a good matchup, and who's winning?
It is a good matchup, and to be honest, I don't know who's going to win. I'm never good at picking these things. So, But to be honest, I do want Amanda to win because I want to see a rematch with her. And
I'm
Katie
blocking
Taylor.
you. No, I'm fine.
No, and
Right.
I want to see the rematch with her and Katie Taylor. So I don't want her to,
You don't want her to fall too far from grace.
far. Yeah. So,
But you don't think that fight affected her mentally?
Whoa.
I don't know. It might have, but like that fight was so close. It wasn't a robbery because it could have went both ways. So it has to be ran back.
But there's
You
no
know?
second place. Either you win or you
Yeah.
don't. So like as an ego, like my ego, I'd be like, like I'd be crushed.
Yeah,
No,
you know,
definitely.
Katie, that was a dangerous fight for her.
Yeah.
She does not have to run it back, only because the second time she may not come out on top because she got hurt. But she knows how to hold and maneuver and walk back and all
That's
of
why we
that
need to
because of her
see it again.
experience.
It could be a trilogy.
Yeah.
Because Amanda would take it this time, and then the third time would be the fight. The winner takes all.
Winner takes all. Yeah.
Shoot, if they could both last through those wars, I don't know.
Yeah, because
Then
that was
Tiger.
definitely the fight of the
Crystal,
year.
hello, Crystal.
Hey.
Well, I'm gonna tell you my views. So they're both southpaws. So there's gonna be some head clashing, some knee clashing. It's gonna be rough, a rough fight. I think that Amanda throws more jabs than Erica, even though her jabs are not the best, but she does throw more than Erica. And Erica, she throws a lot of wide hooks, a lot of wide open shots. She wants to stay in the pocket, which is not smart to do with Amanda because Amanda will stalk her prey and she's tough as shit. So I don't know.
That's why I don't know.
I do believe, I have something against Erica Cruz because she wouldn't fight Tierra. But so, I always forgive, but I don't always forget.
You're entitled to that.
So
who
I'm
says you
gonna have
can't?
to go with Amanda, and I really do believe that she is tougher and I really believe that she will outmuscle her and kind of bully her a little bit. That's my prediction. But
So we need to get to so maybe Tierra can get the winner of this fight.
Right.
She needs to that would
can
be
she
lovely.
just fight somebody? I know.
Somebody,
it's like
right?
Can she just fight
But it's
somebody?
scary to
She
take
knocked
that risk with
knocked
Tiara
out her last
because
opponent.
she might make somebody. She's gonna make somebody look really bad, and then it's like
that's why they don't put her on. I'm telling you,
she knocked out her last opponent, and the opponent came in overweight, right?
11. Yeah, she's 11-0, 11 knockouts. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I see why they dodging her.
Yeah,
I've seen her fight. Luckily, when she was in Tijuana, I saw her fight, and it was so hard taking pictures of her because I was watching her, and it was I wanted to just speak to my camera and be like, shoot. But,
I know
it was she stood out to me the most, and I've seen over COVID, I saw probably about 300 fights, and hers was one of two that just stood out to me. Like she's a great fighter.
She is. She's strong. She's tough. She's elusive. She's amazing. She's such a great person. I don't know.
She's so smart in that ring, though. She is. Nothing rattles her. Nothing.
Yes.
See, I mean, being a boxer in the game, you were a boxer as well as me, so you see that thing. So these other fighters see it as well, so they don't want to get in the ring.
I wouldn't get in the ring with her.
Yeah, so it's like,
that's true. They're like, she's too risky.
Yeah,
and
that's
there's no. They're like, if she had a belt, but she's got to get a belt. Let's get her a belt. Let's get her a belt.
A shot to get a belt. Yeah.
Man, I'm saying,
we need to start that petition.
That's why I feel like that's why I really want people to enforce these brackets and stuff, because if that would benefit a person like Tierra, tremendously, because then nobody can dodge her. She's in a competition where you have to fight bracket style, and you can't say no, I don't want to fight, or you just you give up whatever you have. So she would have benefited or something like that.
They thought about doing the Muhammad Ali, Super Series again, and there was talks about that a little over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, but then they never picked it up. So I don't know. I wish that would have been something good for her, but we'll see. We'll see. Ronnie Bravo says, I don't think Cruz has enough pop to keep Amanda off of her. I don't either, Ronnie. I don't. She doesn't. I mean, I've watched some of her other fights, and like I said, especially whenever we were trying to negotiate the fight with her, And no,
I do think Cruz is going to take a lot of shots, and I feel like Mexican fighting is just you
In the
take shots,
pocket.
you just take
Yeah.
it,
in the
you
pocket.
know.
Yeah,
But
No,
she
you're
is
gonna
one
smart
of them.
Amanda
yet.
takes a lot of shots too. Her defense could be a little better. She keeps herself wide open again.
She does.
Takes a lot of hits now.
But she felt some hurt from Katie, so
Yeah.
I think she's got to fix a lot of things and be like, oh, I'm not going through that again.
I don't know if anybody in the chat knows or if y'all know who's taller. I thought that Amanda was taller, but I
think
could be
so.
wrong.
I think so.
Okay. Because Erica has a really bad habit of being like really wide. I mean, if Amanda just stays down the middle, you know, she's really going to be in trouble. She wants to throw that right hook, you know, her backhand. She wants to throw it all the time, and you can time it. It's I don't know. I don't know. We'll see though.
Wait.
I'm looking forward to the whole card because that's a whole full woman's card, I believe.
Is it?
I think so. I need to go back and look.
Oh yeah, I know Kim Clavel is fighting. I think in Australia. I'm not quite sure.
So
where
when is she fighting?
Saturday.
Okay, I'll be looking out for that. That's going to
What
be
on what
on
on
the
what
zone.
network? On what network?
Is that on
man, they
Dazzle?
posted it on Twitter. I forgot.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out. We'll have to check it out too. But what else is coming up? Like that's what I know of that's coming up. I'm out of the loop right now.
Isn't Comey fighting?
Well, I know that
Erica's
Jaime
taller.
Munguia is going to have a fight coming up.
Thank you, Lee.
It's not official yet, but I know he's got a fight coming
Who,
up.
Comey?
Munguia.
Oh, Munguia. Okay. I was like, Comey, what? Who's Munguia fighting? Do we know?
No,
No?
I don't. Or maybe she knows, but she can't say it. She
Right,
has that face
right,
like
right.
she knows, but she can't say it.
You know who knows everything? L-Dub.
I know.
Yes, you know,
who's he
because
fighting, L-Dub?
If you want to know, just ask him.
I
you
think he's the
predicting, Elsa?
matchmaker
Who's
that
he
we
fighting?
don't know about. I really do think he's the matchmaker that we don't know about.
I think he's on the
because-
payroll and he doesn't tell
So,
anybody.
yeah.
Right, right, exactly.
Yeah, he's part of his contract was not to let people know that he's the one making these fights.
He said
Oh,
an
so-
NDA.
See, look.
So
He has
Comey
a
does
guess.
have a fight for sure coming up. I didn't know that. Munguia versus Shane Mosley Jr. is my
Jr.
guess.
My guess.
Ooh.
His
My
guess.
guess. Now,
Ooh.
okay, let me. What mark is this? The 32-minute mark? Yeah, I'm gonna take this, clip it, and when
Clip
that fight is
it.
announced, I'm gonna be like,
Clip
yeah.
it. Clip it. You heard it here first, guys. Man, poor Shane Mosley Jr. I mean, he's such a nice guy.
But is he good?
No.
Okay,
he's not.
but do you think the Ali kid is good?
Okay, so he started training with a friend of mine and he's starting to look better. But the thing that I didn't like was, you know, his first ever fight was on TV, you know, and then you got all these other guys that are going through the ranks that are just trying to get a chance. And he was on TV because of his grandfather. And you know what? I get it. But I don't think that it was fair. And he really had to, he's not that bad. Okay, D-style. He really had to prove a lot. So I'm sure he had a lot of pressure. And I think that's why he left his previous coaches and went somewhere else. And I'm really hoping, because he sees everything that everybody says, but I think.
But is he naturally gifted? Is he talented?
No. No.
We have our guest is here.
Okay.
I wish we could play music on YouTube.
I know.
'Cause I
Where's
would love to play
our
music for
guest
people when they
intro?
come on.
Where's it
So we
at?
give them like a proper intro.
Okay, I drove by a taco shop today and I really thought this looked like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Oh my gosh, it does. It does.
I'm gonna wait till she gets back on camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Rich kid fighters never pan out. I know. It's true. When you're so good, your grandson gets on TV in his debut. Right? Seriously. You're not lying.
But he's
I
not
guess
the
that's
only one.
some of
There's
the
a lot of
benefits of
boxing
royalty.
politics.
That's fine. That's cool.
He's
That's
not
okay.
the only one.
All right, so let me. All right, so the Sportsnista.
The Sportsnista. Hello. How are you?
Hey, I'm well. How are you?
Wow.
Got this camera situation.
I love your shirt.
Oh,
I
thank you.
know that we know you know Nika. My name is Christine, and we
Hello.
have which way do I go? Esme.
What's up? Hello,
So
Esme. Hi, Christine. What's up, you
hello.
guys? Sorry about that. So my son is in black belt training. He's a 10-year-old martial artist, and
Ooh.
we have double and triple class days, and he plays flag football. So I was everywhere.
Keep them busy. Yeah, keep them busy.
I was everywhere. So I have my bougie tea because got to get through the night.
Wait, do you
You're
get scared
good.
for your kid?
What's
Do you
that?
get scared when you watch him compete?
I think for me, like I just get more anxious that he's able to execute what he's supposed to be doing, more so than worried about if he's going to get injured. So
Very
That's great.
nice.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. You're that mom that's running around and doing everything. I love it. I love it.
oh, I'm the mom that will kick him if he comes off and like he's got his head down. I'm like, oh, come around here. Like,
I'm sure that's why he's successful. Absolutely successful.
Like he's been at it since he was 5. So we've been
No,
around for a
that's
while.
really good. That's fabulous. So 5 years. That's good.
6,
I, I was looking, so I want for everybody that doesn't know who you are. So because I was watching some of your stuff and I'm very fascinated. Triple Threat. I saw you're into boxing, UFC, WNBA. Who are you? What are you doing? Let everybody know.
Wonder Woman.
So let me introduce myself. My name
Yes. Yes.
I'm an East Coast girl. I was born and raised in upstate New York by my granddaddy. I'm actually a country girl. And I had chickens and pigs growing up, but I've been out west for a long time. And I've been covering boxing and MMA primarily, although my roots are in baseball. Ironically enough, my roots are in baseball and football. I grew up listening to games on the radio, and when we would watch football, he would actually put it on mute so that I can understand how, like, what plays were being called, what defensive schemes were being called. So and that's how I learned how to write. So really, like, my DNA, I'm like having issues with this camera, but I'm gonna figure this shit
You're
out.
good.
My roots, my DNA is really in writing. So I've been a published author since I was 7 years old. Me and my granddaddy was arguing about Yankee pitching, and he's like, if you feel that strongly about it, write a letter to the paper. And I did. So I've been a published writer since I was a very young kid. And so today, as a grown up, I write for lvsportsbiz.com here in Las Vegas, and I cover a lot of like the business in sports. But you'll see me primarily on the combat sports beat, but and also doing kind of like business stories about women in sports as well. So like Sandra Douglas Morgan, who happens to be the president of the Raiders, for example, or Nikki Fargas, who is the president of the Aces. I'll do a lot of those stories too.
That is awesome. Shoeshine Boxing said, hello, everyone. Sportsnista does a lot of awesome work in Vegas. So that's good. That's good to know. He knows who you are for sure. And then Carson says, I believe Sportsnista is a Cleveland Guardians fan, if I'm correct. Is that true?
You tripping.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'm a Yankee fan. I am a Yankee fan. No
okay.
Way,
my kind of girl. I'm from the Bronx, so I am a Yankees fan through and
Dodgers
through.
fan.
Look, Nika, when I was a kid, so funny story. So I grew up, talking Yankees with my granddaddy, and this was kind of during the time where you could leave your kids like pretty much anywhere. So we'd go to Yankee Stadium. Like his partner would let us into like one of the side doors, and he would just tell me to sit down and don't go nowhere. And I think he would just like go shoot dice or something for like a couple of hours, and then we would take the train back up. So I would talk Yankees with him my whole life. And just before he passed in 2011, he called everybody home and, kind of told us all the things. And for me, he, a couple of things. This is a story actually I don't tell very often. He was like, don't tell your mama where my porn stash is. I had to get rid of my 97-year-old granddaddy's porn stash
I love
just
it.
before he passed. And I was like shuffling back and forth because I'm like, this shit could be worth something. Like, you
Right.
sure?
You're like, this goes
Yeah.
back to 19, whatever. I'm gonna have to keep this.
He had some really old Playboys in there, and I was like, all right, fine. Man.
Oh,
He's
you
like,
should have
Get
"Don't
kept
rid
worry
of
about
it
those.
right now.
Yes.
Like,
Vintage.
don't tell your mama.
For sure.
Yeah,
I got
you.
rid of them.
Yeah,
And
you
then he
should have
sat
kept
me
those.
down, and he was like, and I got one more thing to tell you. I was like, what? He's like, I'm a Dodger fan. What? My whole life has been a lie. It's been a lie.
I love that.
Like, why'd you tell me? Because,
Right before
you know,
he passes, that's what he's telling you.
took it to the grave, man. And you know, he also asked me, there was a photo he had of Muhammad Ali that he wanted to make sure made it into the casket with him. And so those were kind of my jobs: get rid of the porn and make sure Ali was in his pocket.
It sounds like he was a great man. Seriously, that's where he taught you so much.
Yeah.
So
And great taste in baseball.
Yeah.
Hey.
And
Man, the 27
amazing.
championship was hard to win, man. Hard to win that 27.
So you're writing, and then I've seen some of your interviews. You do really, really great work.
Thank you.
But I have to ask you, and I'll put you on the spot. Like, what do you think is your most memorable interview? Who was it with?
Oh gosh, there have been quite a few along the way. Layla Ali stands out to me a lot because of kind of like she was part of that big pioneering class of women in boxing, kind of the next iteration of the pioneers in boxing. And then of course, kind of the connection I have with the stories that I've heard about her father growing up. So that's something that stands out to me. The funniest interview that I have ever done is Blair Cobb's, man.
Oh
Dude,
gosh,
you know, he's like new on the scenes. Like you gotta like be ready.
Yeah.
To be
He'll start
ready.
interviewing you.
Yes,
He's
you
a
gotta
hoot.
be ready for Blair, certainly. But also I love talking to B Hop. B Hop is like, you know, straight no chaser.
He
Like
is.
you can't, you're not talking to him like about no bullshit, and you know he's going to call you out. He's funny. He'll tell you like your job as a media ain't to do this, it's to do that. You're like, where the check at that you signed?
Right, exactly.
Telling me what my job is, sir.
No, he is easy, and I've seen him, you know, lecturing some of the up and comings, or the world, the champs right now, and he'll sit and he'll talk, and he'll tell them what's up, how the cow ate the cabbage, is my mom used to say.
Man, and I tell you too, Ramla Ali is somebody, I think she's one of the most important voices in all of women's sports.
Yes,
because of what she has
story.
gone through as a refugee, and the fact, look, you see her when she ain't in the gym, she ain't gotta be a boxer. This is a Vogue model. Like she's getting paid a whole lot of money doing other things, but she's using that platform to elevate those who just don't have a voice. And I think that she's one of the most important voices in women's sports.
I do too. I really admire her. Her story of how she, getting to the Olympics. It's like a lot of people don't know. She and her, I guess, I don't know if it was her husband at the time or her boyfriend. I know it's her husband now. They had to pay for everything, and she was walking around in blue jeans and no uniform. I mean, I admire her so much too. I've heard her story, and I think that is very. Every woman or man needs to hear the story. Of her commitment.
I really, really dig her. Like I didn't have no pineapple to boil, but I did have what I have in here. I had some ginger. I had to. I didn't boil.
Nika has all the remedies.
The remedies.
Yeah, my internet would act up now. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, sorry. I just have my sister rebooting the internet, but yes, it would start acting up now. So yes, pineapple. I know. See, I don't know you personally. I don't know her personally, but I do follow her on Twitter. So I know that she's like, does big things in sports, and just not just boxing, and sports, period. So, I want to apologize for you having to witness me go off on people all the time, because I know it's not really good showing that I do sometimes, but but I do notice you're wearing even in between me cussing people out, I do notice your work. That's why when we were gonna highlight women on the show, I was just like, oh, you know what, because Fresnista. So yeah,
Yes.
That's so
just
funny.
that's my apology there.
That's so fun. No, just pull it back. Pull it back. What's funny is I do a podcast called Levels X with a friend of mine, Jeremy Long. Jeremy and I have been like on this sports thing for a while, a couple of iterations of shows, and he's like, "Are they gonna let you say motherfucker on the show?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "I don't think Nike gonna have a problem with that."
Oh my god, I just told somebody to suck a dick like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like just 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my
But
god.
you know, I'm curious because I'm just involved in one sport, and it's enough. How do you balance your time between these 3 different sports, and
Yeah.
if you have any other sports you're juggling, how do you do that?
It's crazy. I would say, I'm kind of like, utility gal when it comes to sports coverage. But I think if I were to start out today and have to cover all, multiple sports, it'd be much more difficult than if I just didn't have the pedigree. It's just, I've
Right.
always done it. So I don't know anything any different. I'll tell you these days, though, I pay attention to less and less, and I just really follow what I like now. If I'm interested in it, then it's cool. I love combat sports, so boxing and MMA. I'm always going to kind of dig into that. My Yankees it's a personal thing for me. I would say that I wasn't Carolina born or Carolina bred, but when I die, I'm gonna be Carolina dead. So I am
I
a North
like that.
Carolina Tar Heels
Okay.
fan. I will follow that team till the wheels fall off. And there's a fight around here if somebody be trying to mess around with the TV when my
I
team
hear
is
you.
on.
I hear
See,
you.
she's an Aries and she loves the Yankees, so we have much
We're
more in common than I know.
Yes, y'all are sisters. That's right.
I may not cuss as many people out in public, but there's some cussing
Right.
out
Neither
there,
do
so.
I.
No, we all trust me. When Nika says something, we're like in our head, like, yeah. But because of what we're doing, we can't do it right now. So yeah.
But in all fairness, I never start these things, but I really do have a bad habit of responding and replying and not
That
letting
is
it go.
true.
I never
Yes.
I'd be
start
like,
these
why are
things.
they messing with that lady? I'm like,
Uh-huh.
It's just, I've really figured out that it's mostly for content and traffic on their page, and and when they catch me, to be honest, it don't matter when you catch me. I'm always gonna snap back. It don't matter.
Right.
I could be having a good day or a bad day. You still
They know how to get the traffic on their page. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But you're definitely a reactor. Like
Foolishness.
Like when I hear something, I'm like, well, what'd you do to her? Like, what'd you do to her?
Yeah, exactly. We're like, they did something. They
Yeah.
absolutely did something to her. Lee has a question for you. So Sportsnista, was there a fight or fighter that ignited your interest in boxing?
Absolutely. Muhammad Ali. No doubt. So my granddaddy was of the generation of black men who really, Muhammad Ali was really speaking to him. At that time when he was being enlisted into Vietnam, when he refused to go, my uncle was on his 3rd tour in Vietnam. And so it was a very difficult time for my family. And so my granddad, it just stayed with him. My granddaddy had served in multiple wars. He was wounded in the war actually as well. Always had this bullet lodged in his hand until I think he was like 65, almost 70 years old when he got it out. These were stories that I heard a lot growing up. And so for me, Muhammad Ali was always more than a boxer. He was a man that actually walked with a purpose. And so absolutely him.
That's a great answer. Yes, he definitely was. What
do you think about his grandson, Nico?
We were just talking about him.
Yeah.
You don't have to comment if you don't want to.
No. So I know Nico and Biagio. They happen to have had some of the same teachers as my kids. So they kind of grew up in the same area that I'm raising my kids. They went to the same elementary school. I know their teachers well, so I kind of know them. I think what they're doing with Nico is really smart. He moves the needle, and you want a guy like that to do well. So matchmaking is really important.
Very
Oh,
Puerto
yeah.
important.
Rico.
Very
I
important.
love it with Sugar Hill too. Sugar Hill's like, we ain't here to do no overtime. We knock motherfuckers out. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So we
And-
working
and
on that
he-
right hand.
He has, I have to say, he has been looking better.
Oh,
He
he's
has.
improved. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
So kudos
I
to
do
him.
think with the right team, you can get further than everybody expects. And I think with the right team, give it a couple years, he's going to break that mold of being Ali's grandson and just make his own name.
Yeah.
Which would be great.
Mhm.
Carson had a food question. He says best vegetarian restaurant in Vegas. Asking for a
Carson,
friend.
foolishness. Carson, man.
Carson a mess.
He is. Carson is a freaking and you know, Carson is the only dude I know who like gets a prime seat on a podcast next to Sean Porter.
Porter.
You know, right? Hall of Fame.
And you're asking
Fighter,
about
Sean
vegetarian food?
And this fool talking about I quit. He retired. He retired from his seat. Messing with me.
Oh
I
my
told him
gosh.
because we tried to start a petition to get him back on there, and I think he actually did get back on there, but I don't know if it's permanent or not.
This fool talking about I retired. What?
Oh
Get back to work.
no, that's funny. Someone's asking about MMA. Which I don't know. Undisputed heavyweight champion will be contested by two heavyweights who have eerie similarities to the GOAT. All the fight will be special. And I guess we're talking about. I'm not good at MMA. I don't know anything about.
Neither am
MMA.
I. I'm not.
So
I'm
that would
talking
be
about-
for you, Sportsnista.
So right now there's an interim champion, and then the actual champion Francis Ngannou is sidelined with an injury. Francis fought Cyril Gane with I think a torn ACL and torn MCL, and still won
Oh my
that
gosh.
fight.
That's weird.
He's a beast, like absolute
Yeah.
beast, but he's been sidelined for over a year with that injury, and so. You know, we've got an interim champion. I don't know. He may be talking about John Jones coming back, but I don't think Francis is ready. I don't think he's ready. And they got to give John Jones, whoever is ready. So to answer that person's question, John Jones, the next person that he should fight would be Stipe. If Stipe ain't available, the next one's going to be Gane. And then if he ain't available, I guess maybe Curtis Blades would be the next guy that he would fight. Heavyweight division is kind of messy right now, but there's some dudes coming, which is really cool.
I love that.
That is. I mean, boxing is a brutal sport, but MMA is
Ooh.
like on a whole
Yes.
other level of brutal. Like, because you can kick and knee people.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's not normal. But
I had to tell my auntie. My auntie was like, they can bite people. No, they can't. Like,
No, that's
they
a boxing.
might.
they might as
might.
well. They
But
might
they
as
not.
well.
That's
they're not
just Mike
allowed to do
Tyson.
that.
Yeah, that's
I
just
might-
boxing.
I think I might want to get bit
Spinal.
rather than kneed in the face. I don't
Oh
know.
gosh, I'd rather
Yeah.
get kneed in the face than bit.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what?
Think about
Yeah.
this as women,
Christine.
right? I asked like one of the female fighters, I'm like, the dudes wear cups, right? Don't you get like need like sometimes
Yeah,
like, and
that
like
hurts.
all the time. All
Yeah.
the time. So think about that. Like as a woman, like if you're not wearing a cup and getting, need in your coochie, like that hurts.
Yeah.
Something
But
the
on
dudes
your
ain't got to
breast,
go
too.
The
through.
women don't wear cups.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. She's a ghost. That's your
Yeah.
grandmother.
That was somebody. Somebody wanted one of your
Your
parents.
grandpa's joining the podcast.
Yes. So the women in MMA, they don't wear cups. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
What about chest protector?
Right.
No, I don't see. I don't see the
What?
chest.
I mean,
Sports
I've
bra.
got
Regular
chest
one.
protector,
Just
but
a regular
I wasn't
sports
sure
bra.
about cup.
Sports bra. Yeah.
Because you can do a little, a little something.
Mhm. Yeah.
So Lee Gross has another great question, per usual.
Per usual, always.
Yeah,
Yes.
I gotta add it up here. He says, if Sugar Ray Robinson is the greatest pound for pound boxer, who do you say is the greatest pound for pound MMA fighter and why?
Great
Mm.
question.
Always a good
I-
question.
Even though the guys had a ton of problems and these picograms issues too, for me it's John Jones, one of the most ferocious fighters I've ever seen in my life, and like just naturally gifted. And then you put the skill set on top of that too. A lot of people love GSP. I think George St. Pierre deserves to be in that conversation, but just like naturally gifted, for me, it's John Jones. That dude, if he's not an MMA fighter, he's a serial killer. for real.
Yeah.
See, I don't know that much about MMA, but John Jones, yes, I know his name. I've seen him. My brothers are into MMA, so yeah, I know that name. Yeah.
So I guess people think you look like Rosie Perez, and you
Yeah.
do. Kind of do. You
Yes,
really
yes.
do. You
I
give
just
me
saw
Rosie Perez vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I hear that, Mookie.
Yeah. Well,
That's so funny.
oh my God.
So you seem to be at the top of the mountain, and I say that because you seem happy. Like you said you've done what you did, and now you're kind of leaning to your favorite things. You know, the combat sports, the boxing. You know, the MMA. What on your bucket list is there left for you to do?
Cover a Final Four.
Okay.
That I would love to do that, and then Game 7 of the Yankees championship.
Oh, and you know,
that
if you
was-
get that, don't forget your girl.
Those would be the things. That would be the things, and
Yes.
you'd be
Oh
right
my
there
God.
because I could
Yes.
that just would be absolute fun.
Oh, I
I've
would
been
love
to
that for you.
Super
Oh my God.
Bowls. I've covered Super Bowls. Yeah, absolutely. That's got to be the one.
Yeah, so
That's
you've been on
awesome.
the big stage for a lot of big, like a lot of sports events. Like Super Bowl is the biggest event for football. So
Yeah, and
we
actually,
need to
I
get you for
hated
the
working the
Yankees.
Super Bowl. I really did. I hated doing the Super Bowl. It's just too much going on. Everybody's there. It's cold. You know,
Usually
usually
cold.
like traffic
Yeah.
is horrific. You know, even in Tampa, like, you know, it's cold in January in Tampa, early February. So yeah, no, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I lived in Tampa when they had the Super Bowl there, and oh my God, it was crazy. Like I couldn't even go to the store for anything. It was insane. I was just like, oh no.
Parties out in Ybor City and Game in
yeah.
Tampa. It's crazy.
And I actually lived right by the stadium. Like I lived right across the street from the mall, which is like walking distance to the stadium. So I couldn't go anywhere. I was like, get this fucking Super Bowl out of here now.
We all
If
done.
only
We all
the Cowboys could win and we can have the Super Bowl in Dallas. Y'all wouldn't have to be going through that.
Well, no, it depends on where they have the Super Bowl that year because
whoever bid it on the I'm teasing.
So. Yeah, Vegas, that Super Bowl. Yeah, the Super Bowl here is going to be fire. So the city of Las Vegas didn't really want the Super Bowl because happening around the same time is one of the biggest conferences of the year. And so we're kind of like already filled with tourists at that time. So we get all the Super Bowl book money without having to deal with the extra. And, you know, one thing people don't know about Las Vegas is it's no longer a 24/7 town. After the pandemic, just like every place else, people ain't come back to work. So you got restaurants that close at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Wow.
That's true. I was there not too long ago, and it was totally different for sure as far as that.
Isn't that goofy?
Yeah,
that is goofy.
It was different.
Sin City, yeah. Come on now. You can't do no sinning. Like the sinning just starts happening at 10. Like
there's places.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. What would be your boxing name if you were a boxer? Like, what would be your nickname?
You know what? Maybe. I don't know. That's a good one. You got me stumped on that one. But it wouldn't be like something like brutal, you know? It'd be more like California Honey or something like that.
I like that. California Honey. Yeah.
I like that.
Something like that.
And I have a question kind of like that too. So, you know, tomorrow is the end of the world, but tonight you get to watch any matchup and UFC or in boxing that you want. Anything, any two people together in the ring, in the cage, who would it be?
In the ring, I would like to see Roberto Duran and Floyd Mayweather. And on the flip side, I would also like to see Claressa Shields and Layla Ali.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Finally put that thing.
She's trying to go out with
rest.
Right.
You know, finally like to see that thing to rest. And then, like, you know, in MMA, I'm not going to go too far back, but because I really love seeing Kamaru Usman work. But Kamaru and George St. Pierre, those would be the two that I would definitely like to see.
Okay. That sounds good. Those sound, I would want to be there too.
Yeah.
To join you for those, because those are some fire matchup.
Oh,
Esme,
like the
what you
Duran
got for
Floyd
her off the
matchup
wall?
is like the weights like would have to like work out, but I just would love to see like Floyd with Roberto Duran's style in his face.
Right. Yeah, and I
That's
get the styles. Yeah, definitely. And same with Clarissa Shields and Ali. I know she a few years ago she wanted her to come out of retirement. I'm like, girl, she's a mama. She's making cookbooks. She's writing
Yeah.
cookbooks.
That
And,
time.
come on, girl.
She
And,
doesn't need
and
to
you
prove
know,
herself.
her cooking looks pretty damn good too. My
yeah,
Oh,
she's been on the
really?
Food Network and everything.
yes.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
my question is, dead or alive, it doesn't have to be an athlete. Who would be one person you'd like to interview or sit down with?
Oh, it's gonna be Muhammad Ali.
No.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be Muhammad Ali, like
Yeah.
all day. Because I just really curious to me, like what would make a man like give up the best years of his fighting life for people he doesn't even know, and like my one question for him would be like, would you do it again? Was it a mistake?
Mhm.
Because now you know how much you
Knowing
lost.
how it turns
Like,
out,
would
yeah.
What would
do
you
it
tell
again?
him about his grandson right now?
Oh, I would definitely tell him that Nico has his courage for certain, and but he may not have his footwork.
I
Yeah,
agree
because
with
Muhammad
that.
Ali has some nice footwork. Let me tell you that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yeah,
definitely
that would be
agree
awesome.
with
He's
that.
been, Nico's been very nice to us. My kids, so my son also is interested in sports journalism. My daughter, she's more of like the boss, the project manager. She tell you where you gotta be, and
She's very
Where she gets
organized.
that from?
listen. But she claimed like, she's got the bigger personality, but she's got a little bit of social anxiety. But like my son and daughter, they both interviewed Nico, and they've actually like had their first published work as a result
Oh,
of interviewing him. And
Fabulous.
that is
so,
nice. Yeah.
it's good to see young boxers that understand like you gotta build a fan base. You can't just live in the gym. Can't do that no more.
Right.
These
Yeah, you
promoters.
need social media.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
and the promoter's job is to promote their promotion, not
Right.
their event,
Right.
not you.
Right.
That
You
is
gotta
true.
get busy doing that.
And
Yeah,
it's becoming more of a reality. Back in the day, yes, the promoter did put out, things before there were social media, the posters, the commercials, the this and that, but now, I mean, things have changed. You've got
You
to
got to
do it.
make money
gotta sell
outside of
yourself. Yeah.
You've
boxing.
got to do it.
You
Absolutely. I
can't
totally
just
agree
be
with that.
making money like when you signed your contract to
No.
fight on a particular night. You got to be like, what was it? And Jerry Maguire, like you got to have car, beverage, and whatever else. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't just have boxing money. Boxing
No.
money, short money.
No.
Yeah, you
Yeah. The
definitely.
endorsements, the everything. Yeah. The sponsorships.
You gotta have a
all
look.
of that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what?
NIL.
What you said about Nico's footwork, it's so funny because, and I remember telling this to Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. once, they say sometimes, talent or certain things skip a generation, but Muhammad Ali, like, it is all of their blood. I mean, Layla, Nico, like, they all have that boxing spark and they just need to enhance it, but they all have it, which is incredible.
They came out with that pop, that's for certain.
I mean, yeah, they lucked out pretty much to have, him as the grandfather and the father, that's for sure. It didn't hurt at all. That's true. We'll take a last question from Remy. He said, what does she think about
Michelle Rivera? Yeah,
Baby Ali.
What I think about him is kind of what I think about a lot of fighters is be smart with your development. A lot of times people see like, you have a great night, and then he like that whole Ali Boumaier, stop saying that.
Yeah, please.
When he's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cut it out. Right. But I think, if they bring him along and they develop him, that he'll be okay. I just don't think we have enough data yet. We don't have enough data on a lot of these guys.
Agree.
You know, like what happened with Boots? Like Boots has to go the distance, and all of a sudden he ain't all that. He went the distance and he won. Like what? You know, he did what he was supposed to do. Like the dude gave him a fight, and that's what
Yeah.
was supposed to happen. Like he's developing. I think it was good for Boots to go back to the stool and get coaching throughout the fight. But I mean, the same thing with Rivera. But I like to see these guys stop fighting such like in a comfortable stable. You know?
Absolutely.
They
Agree.
need to get rid of that fear of having a loss on their
A
record.
loss on your record.
Or it's like, get over
That
it.
thing sucks. So like my beef, one of my many beefs with boxing is the whole like when your O goes, like you a bum. You know,
Right.
with
Yeah.
MMA, like you're gonna lose
Yeah.
a few times. This guy right now,
You were a
Derek
hype
Lewis,
job. Yeah.
yeah, Derek, my balls is hot Lewis. That's like one time, like after a fight, he took his shorts off and he was just there in his skivvies. And Joe Rogan was like, "Why you take, your shorts off?" He's like, "Cause my balls was hot." So
Oh my God.
Why
balls is
else?
hot. Yeah. So but Derek Lewis is on, I think, a 4-fight losing streak. He's a bit in a headline, a card. Like that's what should happen, Like
Yeah, for
dudes
sure.
shouldn't get thrown away because they
No.
lost a fight. Like so, that's why these guys are so hesitant to be developed the right way. I mean, Edgar Berlanga. That's another one. He getting real close.
Yep.
And he was like super duper close that last
Well-
fight. It doesn't matter.
Well, and
Mhm.
even B-Hop. I mean, didn't B-Hop lose, speaking of him, lose his first fight?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Lost the last one too.
Exactly. And yeah, so I think this new age that we're in where, you have to just, have this perfect record. Well, yeah, you're going to have this perfect record, but you're not going to see them fight anybody that you really want them
Nah.
to see.
See,
Mhm.
I'm going
So
to throw a
we're-
name out there.
We're losing.
I'm going to throw a name, and I know there are some people in the chat upset, but like Xander Zayas. I think he's amazing.
Blasphemous! I love Xander.
Yeah, he's
I
so
love
awesome.
Xander. I love
But
Xander.
I feel also like he's a little bit baby. I just
Yeah.
if he
Well-
loses, he loses, but he lose a great fight. And I think he's one person that's also like, oh, I'm doing this. Like I can't have a loss on my record.
Well, and we can throw Boots in there too. I mean, who has Boots really fought? I mean, speaking of Boots, and I like Boots and I like Xander, and I think they're both talented.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
there
are.
does come a point, and then look at who just fought Lee, Brandon Lee. Come on, what is he like?
Mhm.
50,
But
you
see,
know?
a question about Boots, because before this fight, this past weekend, a lot of people say, "Oh, he needs to fight Spence or Bud." So
Yeah.
now, after this
Wow.
weekend, do you feel like he's ready to be in there with them? No.
Listen, if I'm Bud and Spence right now, I'm like, let's fight tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's
Salivating.
Exactly. Yes.
go.
And a lot of people
But
were like,
Boots
they were
gonna be that dude,
backtracking
though.
on social media about it because they were saying, "Oh, Boots is the one. He's the one who could beat Spence and the one who could beat Bud." But that's not what I saw this weekend.
No,
I feel
not-
like he got a
not
lot
this
more to do and to work on if he thinks he's gonna get in the ring with either one of those two. So that's just
But
my
he's
opinion.
going to be that dude. Like, even
Yeah.
before this weekend, I thought that it was too soon for them to be talking about matching him out. Like, let him fight Virgil.
Right.
That's the fight to
Yes.
Yes.
I really think that should be the
Ooh, yes.
undercard
Agree.
for a Bud and Spence
I
fight.
want to see that
Mhm.
matchup. Absolutely.
Bud and Spencer fight, and I really feel like Boots and Ortiz should be on the undercard. That
Yeah.
would be great.
Man,
So
I'll be
Just
there.
let
I'll
Bring
be
it
on
out.
that. I'll be there.
Tell
That would
Dub
be
he'll make it happen.
yeah, that would be great. So Crystal said, I think Bud and Spence handle Boots. However, not to take anything away from Boots, a KO is not always required for
Exactly.
good performance. That is true.
right.
And I've
Right.
seen him do some good work, but it seems like this name was a little bigger than the rest of them, and we didn't see the same performance. So it just makes you wonder as they raise the ante, what is he going to look like? I don't know. We have yet.
but
to
I
see.
would like to see. I would like to see.
Let's see.
But I
Yeah,
agree.
that's
A KO is not needed for a good
No.
performance. Like
Yeah.
I've seen great fights without KO. So
Yeah, and
it's
it depends
not
on who's in front of
necessary.
you. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, we've had some guys that been KOing everybody. I mean, Berlanga,
Mhm.
and then they get in front of somebody else, and so that doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything. It kind of damages you because they expect that. Everybody
Mhm.
expects you to
Yeah.
KO your opponent, and then when you don't, Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
that was
fluke.
top ranked selling point for him. They was making
Yes, you're right.
Berlanger a monster, a KO monster, and he was knocking everybody out. And then when they started putting him in there with some real work, then it's
Right.
just like,
Mhm.
you know, record scratch, you know. So yeah,
That's true. You're right.
So,
You're absolutely right.
Put the needle
What
on the record.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about this all night. Like we have, so we can literally talk all night. But
Great
I
talk.
just want, Sportsnista, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and I want you to come
Yes.
on again. But I want you to tell everybody where they can find you, where they can read your work, and just everything. You know,
Your
let us.
podcast and everything. Your
Yes.
motherfucking podcast.
Yeah, the motherfucking
Listen,
podcast.
the motherfucking podcast. And motherfucker is spelled MUHPATTCA. Motherfucker. So pen game at my writing is at lvsportsbiz.com, and then Instagram, it's _Sportsnista. And I need to get back to Instagram because Twitter be wilding, and so
You're telling.
I
I have to take a break.
take a break from Twitter, be wilding out there.
yes,
And
it does. Oh my god.
but then also, so the podcast is Level Show, LEVELS Show, on Facebook. Shout out to Jeremy Long and Ralph Velez, who is actually the ring announcer for Mayweather Promotions. So you'll see Ralph a lot when he ain't traveling in Dubai and some other stuff that he be doing. He hangs out with us on occasion too. So them be the places, and otherwise I don't
Okay.
really be in these streets.
Okay.
If I'm in these streets, but it is always red on fight night. Always.
Love
So
it.
if it's
No, we
fight night,
love
I'm
it.
gonna be out in red somewhere.
Ladies,
And
y'all
cursing, I
have
don't know
y'all have
about the
anything?
vegetarian dish.
Y'all have anything y'all want to say to Sportsnista?
No, she was a great. I knew she would be a great guest.
This is
So
one of my
I'm
favorites.
so
actually.
happy.
It's been one of my
Yeah.
favorite.
I'm so glad
interactions
she
with
came
other-
on.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a
Me
real
too.
pleasure.
We love to uplift women that are doing amazing things, and you are absolutely doing amazing things. We appreciate all your hard work, all your efforts, everything, and we already love you. I mean, you have a great personality. You're fun. You know, like SB said, one of her favorite interviews so far. So it's great. You definitely have to come on again.
Thank you. Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New
Be
Year.
careful
Yes.
out
Happy
in
New
them
Year.
streets. Don't start nothing, but if you need to finish it,
If we're in Vegas, we're gonna hit you up.
please do.
Yes, we got
I'm
to hang
serious.
out.
All right, y'all.
Absolutely. Everybody have a good
Peace out.
night. Love y'all.
Bye now.
Shine, thank you so
Bye.
much. She's great. She was great.
Let me end this.